Bitch, I do rich shit, my money thick, ayy. Walk with a limp, I'm on some pimp shit, ayy. Can't say you all about money, yeah. I'm on that cash shit, I'm in my I'm ass bitch, Ain't you tired? Another
What is good, YouTube? It's your girl Nate Trippy, and I'm back at it again with another video. You guys, I am so excited just seeing my channel grow and seeing y'all support me. Like, y'all, we shutting down 2020, period. So as you guys can tell by the title, I am going to be giving you guys tips and advice on moving out on your own, whether it's you by yourself or you and a roommate or whatever. It's your first time moving out of your parents' house. And I am a leasing consultant, so I do know a lot about how to prepare and how to plan for getting ready to move out. But before we get into all of the tips and everything, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and make sure you guys hit that bell notification so you're notified every single time that I upload a video. And if you really like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, because that does help me out a lot. So you guys really love these apartment videos. I can tell just by the views that I'm getting and all of the feedback that I'm getting. So why not, you know, get you guys to move out on your own and, you know, you guys be prepared. So my first tip I would want to say is money. You need to budget. You need to know how much you're going to need to move out. So when you're apartment hunting and you know for sure you're ready to move out, a lot of places are different, but I'm just going to be saying it as far as like what I've seen and what I've done. So as far as budgeting, the first thing you want to do is call up to that apartment complex, or even just go up there and see how much money you need to make, because financially you do have to be able to pay your rent. They're not just going to give you an apartment just because they feel, you know, they're like, all right, you're ready, let me give you an apartment. They're not going to do that. They need to know that you are financially stable enough to pay for your apartment. So you need to budget. You need to put money aside. A lot of the places when you are apartment shopping, there's 3 different things you need to pass in order to get approved. That is a background check, which is your criminal background check. It is also your renter's history, and then also financial wise. So they're going to look at your credit and all of the other stuff. If you don't have credit, it's okay. That's not the portion we're going to talk about. I'm going to get into credit later, but right now this is just money. You need to know what you can afford. If you really want an apartment that's super nice, you got nice views, and you're, you know, you're on the top level, and you want an apartment complex that has all of these great amenities such as a pool, gym, and, you know, sauna and whatever else comes with a lot of these apartment complexes, you are going to need to know you need to make enough money to live in those kind of apartments. So if you know for sure that you want this, just know that those type of apartments are going to run you a lot of money monthly. So if you want a apartment that has all those great amenities and the rent is $1,600 a month, and you know for sure you cannot afford that, don't go and apply for that apartment, because you're just going to be wasting your time. You're going to put a dent in your credit, because they do have to run your credit, and it does, you know, show on your credit report. So just know what you can afford. Put money aside. If you know from a year from now that you want to move out, start putting money aside, because it is super expensive to move out on your own, especially getting you into that apartment. So a lot of the places require you to make a certain amount of money. So some places require you to make 2 times the rent, some places require you to make 2.5 times the rent, and some places require you to make 3 times the rent. 3 times the rent is normally the most. I've never seen any more. I haven't seen any places that require you to make 3.5 times the rent or 4 times the rent. But if they do, just know pretty much you have to take however much the base rent is and multiply that by however much they say you need to make. So if you need to make 3 times the rent and the base rent is $1,200, you need to take $1,200, multiply that by 3, and that's how much money you need to make a month before your taxes. So if you know you can't make 3 times the rent, or 2.5 times the rent or whatever, don't even apply for those apartments. That should be one of the first things you're asking them, is how much do you need to make a month to get a, you know, to get into the apartment, to afford it. That's just my first tip, is just money. Put money aside, just budget and know what you can afford. You never want to live outside your means. If you have a roommate, it's a lot easier, because what they do is they take your income and your roommate's income and combine it. So if you know you make $3,000 a month before your taxes and the other person makes $2,000 a month before taxes, pretty much combining all of that, that's $5,000 that the income is bringing into that apartment. So you guys will most likely get approved a lot easier when you have a roommate versus when it's just your income. So my next tip is going to be knowing what you want in an apartment. So now that you know that you can afford, you know, a certain amount of rent every month, then start narrowing it down and seeing exactly what you want in an apartment. Do you want closet space? Is a kitchen really one of the biggest things for you? Is it no carpet? Is it only vinyl? Or like, you know, like you need to know what you want so you can narrow it down in these apartment complexes. What I love to do and what I tell a lot of people to do is look at the pictures online. Now obviously the pictures online are always, this is how they trick you, they're gonna always show you the beautifulest apartment in the pictures and make you want to. That's a marketing technique. It's going to get you there, and then once you're there, then you can see what else they have to offer. But I always tell people, just go and tour. Once you know for sure the budget you need, don't go and tour these apartments that you cannot afford, because you're going to get your hopes up and then you're going to get denied and then your feelings are going to be hurt. And sis, we don't want you crying, okay? So just don't even do that to yourself. So my next step is finding the best location. So location plays a part in how much the rent will be. If you are in the suburbs, if you're in like the bougie area of town, know that the rent over in that side of town is going to be a lot more expensive versus the rent somewhere in, like, you know, on a certain side of town that isn't as expensive. Location plays a part in know where you want to live and what type of location are you trying to go for. Are you trying to be super far away from people, or are you trying to be in the middle of everything? Do you like that city life, or do you not like that city life and you want to go a little bit further away from the city? Like, just know the location you want to go in, so that can help you narrow down the apartment complexes you're looking at, so you could apply for those ones and go toward those specific ones. My next tip is knowing and being aware of all of the application fees. You always want to ask someone or your leasing agent how much your application fee is, how much your admin fee is. A lot of the apartment complexes, they do require you to have pay an application fee and pay an admin fee. So your admin fee is normally just the fee for like all of the paperwork, and a lot of the times that will also hold your apartment. So if your admin fee is $250 and your application fee is $50 and you're applying for it just by yourself, just know, just to apply, you're paying $300. Applying for apartments are not cheap. It's not like you can go in, apply, and only pay $20 for an application. It don't work that way. So my next tip is credit. So just, if this is your very first apartment, and like I'm really gearing towards like 18-year-olds, you know, pretty much graduating high school, and you know you want to get out of your parents' house. You guys, most of you guys don't have credit unless you're really smart and started at least building credit while you were in high school, like getting the phone bill in your name or something really small, and then you're building up your credit, because by the time you're 19, 20 years old, you know, you'll have some established credit. Just know that they are going to run your credit. If you have no credit, it all depends on the company. From what I've seen, people who have no credit, they still will get approved, but their security deposit would be a little higher. So and it is all based on approved credit. Your security deposit does based on your credit. Now if your credit is just shot to hell, 9 times out of 10 you're most likely going to get denied for the apartment. But if you're new and you don't really have much credit established, your security deposit would just end up being a little higher. It wouldn't be super high, but it wouldn't be the minimum either. It probably would be like right in the middle. So if you know for sure you don't want to pay a high security deposit, you could always get a a cosigner, and the cosigner does not have to live in the apartment. Pretty much you're just using that person's credit or their income to get approved for your apartment. So those are pretty much all of my tips and like tricks on how to get approved for an apartment and how to like move out on your own. Just know it's just really trying to save up your money and asking questions and doing your research before you go and apply for these apartments. I hope this video was so helpful for you guys. If you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comment section below and I will answer every single one of them. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.